G'day avocado enthusiasts and welcome to Scott Grows an Avocado Tree. There are so many fantastic and interesting ways to start growing avocado seeds into avocado trees, and I've looked at a number of those on this channel. But today I'm going to be showing you a different way using
a propagation vase. What is a propagation vase?
It is a glass vessel which is shaped in such a way that you can rest an avocado seed at the top so that it is partially submerged in water, and then it will grow. You don't need to use any toothpicks, and I'm really excited to show you it. The fine folk over at Propagation Co, who are a Sydney-based retailer, have sent me one of their vases, and I am excited to have a play with it. Let's get started. So I'm going to open it up. Okay. All right, let's take it out of the box. And oh, that is quite a nice. Look at that. That's quite nice. I have prepared a seed. I've washed it, I have peeled it, and it's ready to go. It's got a little bit of discoloration, but I think that's just part of the seed. I'm hoping that we're going to be able to germinate this one. If not, I'll try it with another seed. As we know, you don't get a 100% success rate with avocado seeds, and that's all right. So I'm going to put the seed in, just there, and it's quite a good fit. It's clearly designed for avocado seeds. And now I'm going to take some water, and I'm going to fill it up so that half of the seed is covered in water.
That's really fascinating. You fill it up a little bit and then it waits before it goes down. This is fun.
It's actually quicker just taking the avocado seed out to pour it in because it makes quite a good seal around it, which is interesting. It tickled my fancy anyway. And there we have it. It's in, and now we leave it in somewhere that gets regular daylight. So I reckon this actually might make a pretty table centerpiece. I am really excited to watch this avocado seed grow. I really do like the design of this. It's got a lovely shape, it's quite pretty, and you're going to be able to see the avocado roots just grow into it, which of course I love doing as well. I also really like that you don't have to pierce this with any toothpicks, which is nice. I've used other products which do similar things, but this is just a lovely way of displaying it. Let's wait a little bit, shall we, and see what happens.
It has been 1 week and we're starting to get a little bit of cloudiness in the water, so I'm going to change it over. The seed has cracked open, which is great. And if you look right in there, it's a bit hard to see, but there is a root starting to emerge. So we're going to see that very shortly, which is fantastic. Over the following weeks and months, I enjoyed watching the avocado seed first grow roots, then a shoot. After a couple of months, it was developing into a lovely little sapling, which meant it was time for its first prune. I pruned my young avocado trees to encourage thicker stems, more leaves, and branches. It also prevents getting long, spindly trees in the long run. I find a node and snip just above it. Now I wait until it has grown back to a similar height before I plant it. Unfortunately, my cat decided he might try out the avocado leaves, so I had to move the tree onto a shelf out of his reach. It got less light as a result, which stunted the growth of the leaves a little.
It's time to pot up. It's been a couple of months since I pruned it. It's grown back at least as tall as it was before we pruned, but it's got more leaves and its stem is thickening up nicely. So the things I'm going to need a pot. Now I'm going to use this plastic nursery pot for this one. The reason I'm doing that is because it drains really easy. Look at all of those holes down there. Really well draining pots are essential for potting up avocado trees. The biggest mistake I see is that people just give their trees root rot. Root rot happens when the avocado tree is sitting in water for too long. It might be a bit counterintuitive because we've got it in water here, but it's not the water necessarily, it's oxygen. And when water doesn't drain, no new oxygen is getting in there, which means that we have fungus and we have other things growing in there, which are eating the roots, which kills the tree. So really well draining pot with some well draining soil as well. Now I'm using my own mix. I'm using pretty well 1 part perlite, 1 part peat moss. Now, if you don't want to use peat moss, and I'm going to phase out using peat moss, I've got my last bag I'm working through at the moment. You can instead use coconut peat, which is a byproduct of the coconut industry, which means it's just so much more sustainable because it's going to go to waste otherwise. And I'm just using some regular potting mix. You could also use compost. I like to use vermicompost, but I don't have any. Almost ready to harvest the next batch, but we're not quite there yet. So I'm going to take this and, well, first actually take my avocado tree out of the vase. Now look at that. And I'm going to pop it in around here. Now, lots of people ask me if you need to bury the seed. You can leave the seed slightly above the water, above the soil. You can totally put it under. It doesn't really matter. It's a seed, seeds are meant to be buried. But if it's going to stick out slightly, it's not going to be a problem. Now, I have gone for a fairly shallow pot, and it's fairly small. You might be thinking that's a fairly small pot, and it is. And the reason being is that you don't want to have a pot much bigger than the root ball of the plant. Roots are what takes water out of the soil, and if you've got these big pockets where there are no roots, you're much more likely to have just stagnant water, which is going to cause problems. So I'm going to hold it in there, and I'm just going to shake some soil in. I'm going to use my hand instead. And I'll actually give it a little tap. Don't go too nuts. As you can see, my seed is still sitting on top there. Not a problem. So long as the roots are underneath the soil, that's really what matters. And now we're almost there. It's time to water. Now, we want to give it a really good drink the first time, considering that we have really well draining pot and well draining soil mix. I'm going to be using water with a little bit of worm tea mixed in, but that's just what I do to help to manage the stress. Too much stress is no good for anyone. So managing the stress of the plant by adding some worm tea or seaweed solution is going to just take the edge off moving a little bit. So I'm going to give it a really good drink, well beyond when it runs out the bottom, just to make it sure that we're really welcoming it in, getting rid of big air pockets around the roots. And we're just about there now. Splashing on my pants. That's good. And there we have it. We have grown, using an avocado vase, an avocado tree. We've planted it. It's been quite a few months since placing this seed in there, waiting for it to germinate, letting it grow, pruning it, letting it grow back to being finally ready to plant. But here we are. Now I'm going to be keeping it in a similar spot. It probably needs a little more sun than I was giving it. I'll find a spot for this one, probably inside for a little bit, just until it gets settled before I eventually move it outside into a partially shaded spot. It's going to be really important now that I wait for it to fully dry out before watering again. A moisture meter is a really helpful tool when you're growing your avocado trees to make sure that you don't get over watering, which is going to cause root rot, because that is a really quick way, easy way to kill your avocado tree. Overwatering and not enough drainage. What fun. But what did I think of this? Well, I really liked it. Aesthetically, it fits in really well on a shelf or on a table. It's pleasing to look at, and once it's filled with avocado tree, it's even better. So I really liked how it looked. I would warn you, if you're going to get one, that it's a little tricky to do water changes on. So changing the water over is a little bit awkward. It's easy when the avocado tree is very, very young. There's not much root. You can just pull the root out, tip out the water, refill it. But once you've got quite a bit of root mass inside of the vase, it becomes a little bit tricky. You don't want to be pulling the tree in and out of the vase, for you might damage the roots. And so you kind of have to awkwardly handle the vase with a stem, taking the water out, which is a little bit awkward. And I was a little discouraged to do water changes, which caused a little bit more algae buildup than I would have been happy with, just because I was feeling a little lazy. But other than that, it's a fantastic little product, and if you're able to, it's a fun way to grow avocado trees in your home. The folks over at Propagation Co have given viewers of Scott Grows an Avocado Tree a buy one, get one free deal. The details for that and the promo code are in the description below. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope that you have enjoyed it. If you'd like to see more avocado content in your feeds, please do consider subscribing to Scott Grows an Avocado Tree. You can also find me on Instagram at Scott Grows an Avocado Tree. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Step on bubble wrap.
Scott grows an avocado tree. Scott grows an avocado tree. Scott grows an avocado tree. Scott grows an avocado tree.